Hello, and welcome to Yellow Covers Explained. In today's tutorial, we'll be delving into Mapster32, a map maker for the popular fan port of Duke Nukem 3D, Duke 32. This map maker is based off of Ken Silverman's build engine, a fan favorite of the retro shooter genre, used to power such classics as Blood, Duke Nukem, and Shadow Warrior. Today I will be going over the basics of making a sector, turning that sector into a room, texturing that room, adding an adjacent room, and then finally adding a basic style door. That all sounds like a lot, but you'll be able to follow along, just stick with me. So let's start. After you open Mapster32, you'll be presented with a blank canvas to work with, and a crosshair represented by this pink plus sign. We'll zoom in just a little bit and then press G a couple of times to get the squares to be a decent size. Pressing G resizes the grid. The grid is useful because our points will snap onto it once we press spacebar. Let's do that. Congratulations, you've just inserted your first point. Now, let's go about and draw a circle around our arrow here. Just like this, pressing spacebar every single time we want to change the direction it's going. Finally, connect the last line to the sector you started with. You've now just created a room. Your funky little arrow still in the room, press enter on your numpad. If you're on a laptop or a 60% keyboard, the combination varies, but I've had luck with function key plus enter. This is what it looks like. So, we've made our first room. Looks kinda ugly. What can we do about that? Well, we are in editing mode, so let's go over some quick controls for you. A and Z make you go up and down respectively. Arrow keys will turn you and then move you backwards and forwards. If you hold the right click on your mouse, you can turn your camera. Let's look at one of these walls. Once you've chosen a wall of your liking, press V. This shows us all the current textures that we have used on walls so far. It's very helpful for making big maps. Press V again. This will show us all the textures we can use. It's a lot, but stick with it. You'll figure it out. Once you've decided on a nice looking texture, simply click on it. It is now applied to the wall. You've just made a digital wallpaper. Congrats! By pointing at the wall that you wish to move the texture for, you can use your numpad 8, 6, 2, and 4 keys to realign the texture. Now we could go through that process again for each wall, and you can add a different texture to each wall if you wanted, but for now, we'll look at our freshly wallpapered option and press the Tab key to copy that texture to our clipboard. Once we have our texture on our clipboard, you can see it over here on the left. It says clipboard right there, and we can see our texture. Now, we'll simply look at another wall and press the Enter key. This one is not located on our numpad, and we can add textures that are on our clipboard. I'll quickly add a floor and a ceiling using the same technique we just performed. Not bad, but it's still feeling kind of claustrophobic in here, even with our fancy new digs. Let's click on the ceiling, holding the left mouse button to lock on, and press the Page Up key located above our number pad. We'll just push that a few times. That should move your ceiling up. Okay, that looks much better. Way less claustrophobic. This room is looking good, but I told you we'd be adding more than one room, so let's make our second room. First, we'll start off by going back into 2D mode by pressing the Enter key located on our numpad. Then, we find an area on our wall that we'd like to be our hallway. This looks like a decent area. Then, we'll just draw a hallway section out and connect it back to all 4 points. Once we see this red line and our carpet texture that we added earlier, we know that it's worked. We'll do the same thing over here adding our second room. Alright, now we have our second room and our hallway. If we press the enter key on our numpad, we can go back in, and because these are different sectors, and we can see that by these red lines here that block them off, this is an area, and then this is an area. We can actually add separate textures if we want to. I don't think that's looking too bad. What do you think, Duke?
Groovy.
Hail to the king, baby. We have our two rooms. We have half a hallway. We have textures. But the bugs can still come in. No door is a real problem. Let's make a quick top-down door to fix this. We'll go back into 2D mode with the numpad enter key and return to the hallway we made. We're going to come over here on this left side of the hallway and press G to make the grid a little bit smaller for our door. And then we're going to insert 2 points on either side to make it a rectangle. You insert points by hovering your mouse over where you want it to be and then pressing the insert key, also usually located above your numpad. After we've created this door sector, we can hover our mouse over it and press T. This lets us set what the door will see itself as. So it'll be 21, and it'll be a floor door. Now, you don't have to do this, but I think it's cool. So let's go back into the 3D editing mode and spawn a sprite by looking down and pressing the S key. This will spawn a brick in front of you. Don't worry, that's not how it's going to look. Press V on it, then V again, and we'll be back in the sprites menu. We're going to get this little guy. I think he kind of looks like an M. It's for music and music and sound effects. We'll make it so our door has noises instead of no noises. We're going back into the 2D mode again, and then we're going to hover over our music and sound effects item and press Alt and then T. And we're going to set this to 166, and we're going to do the same after pressing Alt and H on it. This tells the door what sound effect to play when it's being used, and I've set it to a kind of sci-fi up and down door. So I'll lower the grid size one more time and put it in there, and then get our grid reset. Now, that's pretty much all the setup we're going to have to do. We'll go back into the 3D editing mode and add textures to the areas around the door because we can, and it'll look cool. Alright, that's the texturing done. Now everything should work just fine. We're going to press numpad enter to go back to 2D mode, escape, and then A to save the map as. And I'm going to save this as example map. Then I'm going to load it up inside Duke Nukem 3D and we're going to check it out. One thing I forgot to mention is you do have to set your spawn area. So you have to use your scroll lock key and that'll place that orangey brown arrow and it'll tell the game where to spawn you. So we'll just save this real quick one more time. And then we'll test it out. Alright, we've got Duke Nukem 3D loaded up here. We've got the Atomic Edition. We're going to go to User Maps and then all the way down until we see our example map. Let's rock.
Let's rock.
As you can see, our textures are here just as we placed. Our door moves up and down just as we intended. And you can walk through the hallway into the other room. That doesn't seem too bad to me. Until next time, I hope you learned something new. I hope you learned something from this video, and I hope you have a great day. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to leave a like. If you didn't enjoy the video, you can leave a dislike. I'll see you guys next time.